in tinkling magic. Welcome. Welcome all to the light and love that is unity of Lawrence. And in unity, we begin everything with prayer. So let's take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us as we listen to this prayer. With full hearts and open minds, we gather today to accept the endless possibilities of peace on earth and peace in our hearts. We acknowledge the existence of pain and injustice in the world, but we also acknowledge limitless love and our limitless being. We welcome our divine inheritance as creators. We know that we are already standing in the light of love, of healing, and of transformation. And so it is. Amen. Our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray one-on-one. So if there is anything in your heart to be held in prayer, we invite you to see Diane. There she is, Divine Diane, after today's service at the front of the sanctuary. Our chaplains will pray for you during the week if you just fill out that lavender slip and put that in the box or in the offering basket. And those prayers are sent on after us to Unity Village, where they are prayed upon for a month. All prayers are confidential unless you mark otherwise. Well, now let's do that other thing we love to do. Let's rise and join Holly in singing, "It Came Upon a Midnight Clear." And what wonderful angels all of you are. Such a joyous time to sing together. And as we settle into that nest of love, let us affirm together unity's founding principle. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good. And now our unity of Lawrence vision. United in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And last, our unity of Lawrence mission. We are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. And to help us along that journey today, we welcome back the Green Spirit Band.
It's good to be here. We always enjoy coming here. We gather at the darkest time to welcome in the light and celebrate the first Noel upon a Christmas night. So deck the halls with boughs of holly, lightly falling snow. We'll fill with light this silent night and let the old year go. Unfolding holy labyrinth, the turning of the year. We end our simple pilgrimage upon a midnight clear. And even through the darkest night, the longest, deepest cold, we'll hear the angels singing in the chambers of the soul. And all is well beyond what we can see, and all is well, and evermore shall be. And everyone we've ever loved is still alive and well. The heart remembers everything as far as I can tell. And all our fondest hopes and dreams are loving us so much that time bends over backwards to make sure we keep in touch. So let us sleep in peace and with a grateful heart awake, and greet a new beginning with the dawning of the day. And the angels we have heard on high are with us all along. We'll join the joyful chorus, singing heaven and nature's song. And all is well beyond what we can see, and all is well, and evermore shall be. And so we thank our lucky stars at times when we're apart. We'll always be together in this kingdom of the heart. God rest ye merry gentlemen, and all the ladies too. And as the years go rolling by, may all our dreams come true. God rest ye merry gentlemen, and all the ladies too. And as the years go rolling by, may all our dreams come true.
Beautiful. Isn't it amazing how time can fold all kinds of ways, and we are lucky to hear that in song. Thank you. Rev. Jennifer Hutchins is the founder of Unity Arts Ministry. Her mission is to inspire self-reflection and personal transformation through spiritual principles and the healing power of art. Through Unity Arts Ministry, Reverend Jennifer facilitates creative workshops, classes, and retreat experiences, and we are so lucky to have her here today. Welcome, Reverend Jen.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. That was really cute. So normally you call me Reverend Jen. So if y'all heard Reverend Jennifer, I caught that. That was sweet. So as Michelle said, I love art, all things art, and creativity. And I pretty much feel like it's been my mission to come to Earth at this time to help people use creativity as a way of deepening their spiritual practice and reconnecting with themselves. One of the things that I notice is that my art often reflects back to me messages that I didn't even realize I was creating for myself at the time. Do you ever do that? Like, I don't know, even like you pick up a book and then you're like, oh, I needed that book because, and sometimes my art, I'll look back and see like certain themes, like winding roads through like every image, during a certain period of my life. And it's like, oh, it's the journey, right? But it's like I didn't realize what I was doing at the time. Well, I've had this fascination with the lotus, with water lilies, for a while. In fact, if you go into my studio right now, you'll see several paintings of water lilies along with vision boards that have water lilies on them. I have a little painting that somebody else made with a water lily. These things have been in my studio space for a while. And it was like one day I was looking around the room going, oh, I think there's a message here for me. As we do, right? Human. And so it's like, okay, well, what is the message? What is it that these lilies are trying to tell me? And so I started first asking, what does it represent for me? And the instant answer that came back was peace. They represent peace. When I see a lily hovering, floating, so gentle, it reminds me of peace. And so then I did the thing that my humanness does, is then I Google searched, what does water lily mean? Or what does lotus mean? And then it pulls back all of this information, which I'm going to share with you. But there's a lot to it. But peace, for me, is still this underlying part of what the lotus or water lily represents, even though there are lots of different ways that spiritual traditions interpret what the symbolism is for this. I love synchronicities. You know that the happy accident, the thing you didn't plan, and then it's like the universe just confirming things for you. So, as we do, as speakers, working with different churches, right, we send our talk titles in well in advance of the actual talk, right? So I get this message from Kathy, hey, Rev Jen, it's time for your, your talk topic, so we can put it in the newsletter. And so it's well, I've been reflecting on this idea of lilies and peace, and so let's create something around that. Petals of Peace. It's the title of my talk. And she said, we definitely want to tie it in with Advent. Peace. It's all right, we got it. Well, then she let me know we're working with the Advent booklet that Unity put out. So if you could tie it in to the reading on the 8th, that'd be great. Not those exact words, so, don't quote me exactly. But this is kind of the theme here. So then I read it. Now, the title was already picked, just saying. December 8th, 2024, Second Sunday of Advent, Peace, written by Reverend Bronte Colbert. For the second week of Advent, I reach into my cabinet for a lovely blue glass bowl about 6 inches deep that reminds me of a summer pond. After filling it halfway, I gently place a pink candle shaped like a lotus blossom into the water. The candle wobbles for a few seconds, then floats calmly. Y'all, can I tell you how much when I read that was, oh my gosh! It was meant to be. It delights me to bring the flame of a match to the wick of that candle, adding light and reminding me of sacred stillness. Nothing else needed to be added. The simplicity of bowl, water, and candle feels perfect. To me, the trio represents serenity, calm, and most of all, peace. As I watch the flame dance and gently stretch its light, I feel centered. Any worries or concerns I may have been carrying around are soothed and released. I'll read a little more from that in a bit. But I love that idea of capturing a symbol that represents the season. In this case, the lotus flower. And being able to sort of create a special place, an altar, if you will, in which to come back to that over and over. So that this week you could create for yourself something that will remind you of peace. Peace, the second week of Advent. How many of you could use some peace in your life? Yeah. Anyone other than Michelle? Okay, there's a few of you. Yeah. So hopefully today what we're going to do is talk you through some different aspects to peace that may or may not have been on your mind to deepen this awareness of what does peace mean? How can we cultivate it in our lives? And how can we be an example, a living example of the quality of peace that was demonstrated by the Christ? That's what we're here to do during the Advent season, is to rebirth these qualities within us. As we are celebrating Christmas, we are also celebrating that rebirth of that energy, that divine spark within us. So today we focus on peace. The Buddha said, I don't want to misquote, as a lotus flower is born in water, grows in water, and rises out of water to stand above it unsoiled, so I, born in the world, raised in the world, having overcome the world, live unsoiled by the world. Those words might sound a little familiar too, but with the lotus imagery here. The lotus representing that symbol of peace, of that unsoiled purity that has moved through the world, born in the world, and yet hovers above the water, hovers above. And this is one of the aspects that the lotus flower represents, is spiritual transcendence, overcoming, enlightenment, if you will. So the lotus flower itself, and the Buddha's quote references being born of the water, it's actually born in the mud. Very murky, muddy conditions. And from that mud, the flower, in its little blossom, comes up, closed, up through the water, probably doing this, right? And then when it reaches the surface, begins to open and unfurl. So that what we see as those that are looking out over just the water, because we're not looking down at the surface, but what we see is this pristine, perfect unfoldment of each petal. but the journey began in the mud. And so if we begin to identify, not just with, oh, I see the lotus sitting there on the top of the water and it looks peaceful, but remembering its journey, that it began in the mud, we can begin to identify with the lotus. How many feel a little muddy, a little murky these days? Yeah, perhaps feeling like we are in the depths of the mud. But to remember that perhaps we've had those moments that we felt the light of the sunshine on us, even though right now we may feel coated in mud. That idea of enlightenment, that unfolding into the light, is our awakening to our true nature. And it is available to us all the time. Yet, we are both human and divine. We are that spiritual essence that has human experiences. And today, I want to give you permission that if you are feeling the mud, that's okay. Being in the mud is okay. You don't need to feel enlightened today. But the knowing that the enlightenment is possible, there's hope in that, and there's peace in that. The other aspect of the lotus is its purity. When it comes up and blossoms, what you see are these clean, pristine petals. And yet, we're all confirming, yes, in fact, it lives in the mud. Not only does it grow from the mud, it goes back to the mud every night. I didn't know that. I thought it came up and bloomed and then it just sat there pretty. It doesn't. It keeps going back down, back into the mud. Anybody feel that? Yay, I'm enlightened. Oh, I'm in the mud. But when it arises, it is in its purity. And that is because, scientifically speaking, of this protective coating around it. If you've ever watched or seen lilies in a pond, you'll see there are some that are still closed tightly. It sort of looks like a little bud. And it's that protective coating around there that allows it to go down into the mud where it stays. The inside is still clean. Your spirit, your soul, your essence is always protected. It is always there, perhaps just not shining in that moment. And this protective coating, right, imagine it comes up through the mud each morning, and then the water begins to wash away any of the debris. That's our spiritual practice. The water itself is us moving through our practices that clear that debris off, shake off the dust. So that as we emerge then back into our purity, into our true essence. So the lotus represents spiritual transcendence, and it represents purity, and it also represents resilience. Up and down, right? And this too we experience. We feel this in our nature. And perhaps, like me, sometimes when you're feeling stuck in the mud, but you know that you've had that moment of feeling the light, of living in the light, of being in that state of feeling total freedom and just basking in that sun and that glory. And then when you find yourself in the mud, you beat yourself up over not being in the light. Does anybody else do this? It's like the spiritual whip. I don't know why we do that to ourselves. But I want to give you permission again to be human and spiritual. That there's this both and. We are all here. We're embodied in physical bodies. We've been gifted with a wide range of emotions. And so allowing ourselves to be okay with where we are today is a huge aspect of peace. When we look out at the world and we say it's okay that the world looks the way it does today, because it's just projecting its mud today. But on another day, perhaps I can see it a different way. Perhaps I'll see the light. I'll see the light in myself. I'll see the light in others. I'll see the light in what perhaps looked like chaos and has turned something over to be revealed as a light that has been birthed in a new way. Peace is remembering the practice. It's remembering to honor the journey. It's remembering that we have that experience of enlightenment, that potential is always there, even though we may be feeling the mud. Jesus said to his disciples, I speak these words to you that you may have peace. For in the world you have tribulation, but fear not, I have overcome the world. These sound very much like the words of Buddha. I have moved through the water, and I have overcome the water. Jesus, I have overcome the world. So when we feel stuck in the mud, he's saying, fear not, for there's a way to overcome that state of muddiness. There is something else. And there's peace and freedom and possibility in that. And I want to point out that he's not saying this from the perspective of, you all are going to have problems in the world. I've overcome the world. I'm special, right? Don't you worry about me because I'm better than that. What he's saying is you can do this too. You too can overcome the troubles of the world. I've come to bring the peace, the knowing that you can overcome these limitations. In his writings, Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore talks about this word overcome. And he describes it as like a shooing off of or releasing the attachments to limitation. The attachments to the physical. To overcome means to get your mind out of the feeling of being stuck in it, of identifying with the mud. But you overcome it by releasing that tight grasp, but this is all there is, and overcoming that limiting belief and stretching into your truth, into your light, into your spiritual knowing. He also talks about the world, that word world. What does that mean? And it's the material experience. It's what we touch, right? The tangible, the feelable. And he's saying there's more to our experience than that. There is a spiritual experience. So the overcoming the world is releasing the limitations of the material and moving into our spiritual awareness. It is the unfolding of the lotus into the light. Pure, perfect peace when we see it there. But let it remind us that even in the chaos and the ups and the downs, peace is still possible. We can name it peaceful, part of the journey, accepting what is, releasing that hold that we need to control it. Anybody else try that? How's that going? Not so peaceful, right? So I want to share with you a mudra that you can add to your meditation practice. Those of you that meditate, those of you that don't, try it. Spiritual practice are the things that help us to reclaim our knowing of who we are and why we're here. And even if for 5 minutes you can sit in a moment of peace, that is such a gift, especially today, right? When we're feeling so much mud, if we can just sit in peace Whether you're sitting in peace in the mud, that can be calming, or sitting in peace in the light, sitting in peace somewhere in the middle on the journey, we can practice peace. And so the mudra is a hand gesture. So there's actually a hand gesture, mudra, called the lotus. Imagine that. The lotus we perform by first putting our hands together and keeping your pinkies and your thumbs touching each other. All right, so my hands totally together. Then I'm going to begin to unfurl the 3 middle fingers outward. So just my palm, my thumbs, and my pinkies are connected, and then the rest are opening. Do you see how that kind of looks like a lotus? So we can close it up, we can open it. Now, the goal of this practice is heart opening. So as we open our heart, we open to that peace that's possible in the present moment. And so we could begin with the lotus at our heart, raise it up towards that divine knowing, and raise it back down to our heart. Isn't that just a beautiful little practice, right? We're opening our own lotus, raising it up, and then imagining it's coming back down into the heart. So this could be something that you could do, whether it's simply to breathe with the in and the out, and remember the journey, honor the journey. We are both spirit and human. Whatever you are experiencing, there's peace to be found in that. You could practice the mudra as a way to lean into your meditation practice. Because when you're doing this, and you're breathing and you're focusing on what you are doing with your hands and the breath, it gives the mind something to do other than worry, other than make to-do lists, other than plan out dinner, whatever it is that your mind likes to do. If you give it something to do, it can deepen your meditation practice by giving you an anchor. So when we do our meditation in just a moment, we'll begin with using the mudra so that we move into that experience and see how that feels for you. And again, as always, take the practice, don't take the practice. It's up to you. It's an idea, it's a suggestion, it's an offering. But I do not presume to tell Unity of Lawrence what to do with their lives by any means. So I want to get back to and close with the writing in the Advent booklet for today. Sometimes the troubles in our world, the world around us, and our awareness of things we don't want might make peace hard to find. John 14:27 tells us, "Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not let them be afraid." But is that easier said than done? Spiritual practices such as prayer and meditation can guide us back to our center and help us float above our troubles, if only for a while. As we consciously shift our thinking to a more positive outlook, we can help ourselves find peace and demonstrate that sense of peacefulness as we walk in the world. So on this day of Advent, I give thanks that I am a radiating center of peace. And I'll invite you to share that aloud with me if you feel called to do so. I give thanks that I am a radiating center of peace. And so it is. Thank you. Now I'll invite the Green Spirit Band back up.
A simple, silent prayer a single word of praise is true from anywhere, is heard from any place. So right where I stand, I say amen, say amen. Right where I am, I say amen, say amen, say amen. The longing of my heart will always be enough. My word will travel far on wings of sacred love. So right where I stand, I say amen, say amen. Right where I am, I say amen, say amen, say amen, say amen, amen, amen. You are amen, amen. I love you, amen. You are amen, amen. Forever, amen, amen.
What a beautiful song to lead us into our meditation practice. Right where we are, let us lean in. I invite you to take a moment to adjust your body if you need to. Take care of your humanness. Roll your shoulders or adjust your hips. Perhaps place your feet flat on the ground if that feels comfortable. And we'll begin with our lotus. We're going to do this 3 times, moving with the breath. So we'll inhale and exhale. Inhale, opening the heart. And exhale, release. One more, breathing in and exhale. We allow our hands to come to a gentle rest wherever that feels comfortable for you. Perhaps closing the outer eyes or softening your gaze. As we take the time to experience the peace that lies at the center of our being, to touch the peace that is always there. Imagine floating within your own heart center, a lotus of light. And as we move into a time of silence, simply allow yourself to feel peace, if just for a moment. On your next breath, begin to bring your awareness back into this space, carrying with you the peace of the heart, letting that energy fill your body, letting it permeate the mind. As we wiggle our fingers and toes, imagine peace, wiggling, energizing, and extending from our body out into this community, out into the world. For there is a power in the presence of peace. And for this gift, we say, thank you, Spirit. Amen.
When it's late December, dark and cold, where is the light? When old man here is bending low, where is the light?
You could sing that.
When the sun's run off to bed too soon, where is the light? And there's nothing but a skinny moon, where is the light?
Can you tell me
Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. When it's dark each morning when I rise, where is the light? And it's dark when my eggs are frying, where is the light? It's dark when off to work I go, where is the light? And it's dark again when I get home, where is the light?
Can you tell me
Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me.
Well, it's in my skin and in my bones,
In my heart and in my soul.
that light of light, so bright and golden, like a summer day. When the sun goes missing in the sky, it is rising in my eyes, chasing all that winter gloom away.
Well, I'm burning bright like kerosene.
Where is the light?
I'm twinkling like the Pleiades.
Where is the light?
I'm dancing like a candle flame.
Where is the light?
Just flaming like a fruit flambe.
Where is the light? Can you tell me
Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. Where is the light? Where is the light? Where is the light? Oh, the light's inside of me. 2, 3, 4.
And this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Happy happy lotus petals all around. What a beautiful gift of message and music. Thank you. And as our ushers are coming forward, this is our time of thanks. So I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts. Let's affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And as the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing Silent Night.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
And so here is our prayer of thanks to listen to. We are grateful and we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again, and so it is. Amen. Well, a special welcome to our guests today, whether in the room or on the Zoom. We appreciate you making time to be in this space together, to hold that light of peace together. And if you'd like more information about our Unity movement and Unity of Lawrence, there's a welcome packet right back on this table as you leave into the foyer. And please ask us questions if you have any. If you'd like to join us for lunch, the Lunch Bunch is meeting at Who Hot on 2525 Iowa Street. All are invited to just hang out and fellowship and feast. Who's interested in becoming part of the potluck team that sets up, serves, cleans up after the monthly meal? Please let the office know if you're interested. Again, we're not doing that today. We're doing Who Hot, but the second Sunday potluck will be returning January 12th. And if you'd like to be a part of that team, then you are welcome. Just let us know. And Robin Loomis has helped so much with the first annual Unity Art Auction fundraiser. Thank you to Robin, Dave, and Kitty. So before you go to lunch, peruse the landscape as you go down the ramp and stairs, and you can place your bids. If you want more information, see Robin. There's information in the foyer, but there's some beautiful artwork to bid on. How fun. And now here is Diane Silver for a word about chaplain training.
Hi, everybody. Guess what? All of you sitting here today, if you've been involved in Unity for even a little bit of time, you are eligible to go to chaplain training. Now, this will start January 5th. We're going to meet very briefly after the service for about a half an hour, and then we're going to meet 3 Saturday mornings after that to do our training. The training is going to be led by Reverend Edna Mosher, who is a wonderful minister and a wonderful human being, and I took my training originally with her. Now, to become a chaplain, you do not need to know anything about prayer at all. You do not need to be particularly holy. If that was a requirement, I would not get to walk in the door. But to be a chaplain, you have to have a commitment to learn and a commitment to serve. And you don't even have to make the commitment to become a chaplain when you go to the training. You make that decision at the end of the training. I have loved being a chaplain. What it has done for me is helped me deepen my own spiritual practice and understand prayer in a way that I didn't before. It has also helped me serve individuals in this community, and that is a great blessing. It's something you cannot buy with money. You cannot buy that feeling. So I urge you to think about going to chaplain training. Again, on January 5th, after the service, we will meet for about a half an hour to pass out materials, get ourselves organized. Consider doing this. We only do this about once every other year. So I do hope you will join us because it's going to be fun.
Thank you, Diane. And she does give good prayer. You too can be a part of that magic. Well, also, speaking of things that are coming up, tomorrow is choir practice at 6:20. We'll be performing and singing songs at our Christmas Eve service on December 24th. So if you'd like to get your song on, come tomorrow at 6:20 here. And Holly is doing a wonderful job leading us. Also, Tuesdays, 6:30, we have open meditation for all who are welcome. So if you want to practice your lotus blossoming, you can come and do that mudra here and more. For those who identify as male, the men's fellowship group gathers on Thursdays at 7. And for those who identify as female, Thursday, December 19th at 6:30, there is a night of caroling and fellowship. Did I mention we like to sing around here? Do save the date. We're having a Christmas Eve service, as mentioned, where the choir will be performing at 6. And there's also a new group that is forming because we are a thriving spiritual community. So if you would like to join in raising our consciousness for the environment at Unity, this group will meet once a month on Saturdays to discuss our own thoughts and feelings about climate change, ways to make our church more sustainable, and how to take action in our Kansas community. All ideas are welcome. And the first meeting is this coming Saturday, December 14th at 2 o'clock downstairs in Fellowship Hall. All are welcome. And because we love to serve love in action, we have our holiday giving organized by Lisa and Pat. Thank you so much. This holiday season, we'll be collecting gift cards in the amount of $25 to allow mothers and fathers receiving services at Willow Domestic Center the opportunity to give their children a very special Christmas. And suggested places to purchase them are Walmart, Target, and Dillon's. I love getting all my stuff at Dillon's because gift cards purchased at Dillon's, I've signed up for that kickback to the church, and so I get all of my gift cards for whatever stores or restaurants at Dillon's. But do what you need to do for you. We appreciate your giving, and that needs to be brought by Sunday, December 15th, so that the folks have time to purchase gifts for their little ones. We're also collecting all month long hats, gloves, and socks to provide warmth to guests receiving services at the Homeless Resource Center. So remember Thursday when it dipped down that cold, cold time, and then it's nice and 50s again? Guess what? The dip's coming. We know the mud's down there and so's the cold. So help everybody get sheltered with hats, gloves, and socks. If they're gently used, wonderful. We'll take those. That's wonderful. And you can bring those here throughout the month. All right, well, join us next Sunday when Cindy Smarsh brings us the message, Love in Action, special music by Joy Zimmerman. And now it's time to join together as we rise and sing the peace song.